Welcome back to Kelly Loves K-Pop. If this is your first time finding my channel, thank you for checking me out. If you're a return subscriber, thank you so much. You keep this channel going and I really appreciate you guys. Today we're gonna finally get to my Jungkook ideal partner reading. I don't know why I thought I already did this one because we've been talking about it since like Thanksgiving, or November. So I'm sorry this took so long. I really honestly thought I already did it, and then I was going through my readings yesterday and I'm like, I forgot something. I definitely forgot something. So thank you for being patient with me. We're gonna finally do this thing and I hope you guys love it. I hope it lives up to all of your expectations. So let's go ahead and get going. If you're new, again, I do a 6-card draw from my Carolyn Miss archetypes, and then I do a layered reading of 6 more oracle cards on top that help kind of clarify why that personality type is coming up. Now, this reading is for Jungkook and the traits he identifies with or he would like or that would be good for him. This is not at all talking about the person that he may or may not end up with. Okay, I don't do readings on potential partners or current partners or anything like that. I'm not here to spill any tea on who's dating or tell you if you're gonna marry your idol. That's not what I do. So I know I'm probably gonna get some new people in here. I just wanna start with that and be very upfront with you guys that I am not describing his future partner. I'm describing traits he looks for in a person or that would suit him and help whatever issues he may be going through. So this reading is about Jungkook himself. Okay, as always, tarot readings are for entertainment purposes only. They are all alleged. I am not affiliated with, nor do I know any of these idols, or do I work with any of those companies. I do not. There's nothing here. We're not here to spread libel or rumors or anything like that. Okay, we're just here to have a good time and look at some cards. Okay, and with that said, let's start going, or let's get going, right? English, I don't know how it works. It's not my native language or anything. All right. So these cards have positive and negative traits. So if you don't like hearing any negative traits ever about your idols, this may not be the reading for you. Again, I am pretty blunt and upfront about what I see, and I do try to be respectful. I'm not here to be controversial or anything, but I am going to call it like I see it. So just, you know, again, take it with a grain of salt. If you're only here to hear positive things, yeah, just be forewarned. Okay, we got a jumper. Okay, priest and the light. And when I read these cards, it is a starting off point for my intuition. It is not a verbatim answer to our question. So just know I will read what the card says, but then I'm going to go off and tell you what my intuition is guiding me, you know, what spirit wants to say about that, and just expand on it. We're not going word for word here. Okay, I think we're shuffled. Let's go ahead and take the rest of our cards. And I'm gonna try to set this up so when I pull the next ones, they will all fit. Okay. Somehow some of these are not super surprising for the lifestyle he's in, but we're gonna get clarification. Sometimes everything is not as it seems. Now I'm using my Goddess Power Oracle. I haven't used it in quite a while, so I felt like it was a good time to bring it out. This deck is feminine energy heavy. That does not mean it doesn't mean anything. We're just working with energies here. We're not working with facts. Okay, so just know, just because we're reading something that is using the feminine energy to communicate, it doesn't mean that the person he's with is going to be hyper feminine or anything like that. and it's not speaking to the person he's going to end up with. It's speaking to the traits, actually expounding on these traits that he's attracted to or healthy for him or would help him in his future. Sometimes I get a lot of cards that are talking about a really specific situation they're currently going through and energies that are going to help with it currently. And sometimes I get an overall very general aspect. It really depends like on Jungkook's energy right now. Okay, that one definitely fell on priest. These I do not turn in reversal, so they're all going to be upright. Okay. Okay, these definitely fell across these two, so I'm just going to take them. Interesting, interesting. Again, these are all used in goddess archetypes. So do we have any more that want to jump out? Okay, I'll go ahead and just pull. The past. Ambition. Okay. Okay. And if I didn't say this, Goddess Power Oracle is by Colette Baron Reed. All right, so let's go ahead and see what we got here. So we have first priest in its light attribute, which says facilitates spiritual commitments, serves as a channel for spiritual energy, and then fortune. So this is telling that someone who is very aligned with their spirituality, they don't have to be religious, so to speak, but they're very grounded in their spirituality and they find a richness in their life due to that spirituality. And that's also something that's going to be fruitful and grounding for him. I think if there's probably one chink in his armor, it's that being a celebrity, especially a big name celebrity, pulls you into a lot of unsavory circles, and he needs to make sure that he's extremely grounded in his connection to the divine and his connection to source, whatever it is that he believes in, you know, that he has that foundation and that he has people around him that are going to help reinforce that foundation. So and it's just kind of telling you that the fortune in life is not necessarily in the money. It's in the things that you share with people. It's in the relationships you have with people. So it's saying like, don't, you know, the whole, don't sell your soul to the devil. Like as far as the devil being like money, and I don't believe in a devil personally. It's just the metaphor, right? Don't sell your soul for all these trappings of materialism, basically. Excuse me, my voice is going. So yeah, materialism is a farce. It's a trap. It's a cycle. You'll never have enough. You'll never make enough. There's always more. There's always a higher bar, you know, like, but when you're grounded in your spirituality, you know, the power that holds over you diminishes because you realize you're already rich. You already have, you know, what actually fulfills your soul, and it's not going to be money. Money does make life easier in the capitalistic, you know, world we live in, but it doesn't make your soul sing. It never will. It's a convenience, not a source of happiness, right? So then we're having Exorcist in the Shadow, which is fear of facing your own demons, and then water. This is such a perfect combination because Mama Kocha is about water, as in like letting those emotions flow, like being open and free and accepting those emotions and using it as a strength, like the power of that wave, harnessing it, channeling it. Water has the power to erode rocks and anything that's in your way, but it has to have a focus, right? You can't let it just carry you away. You know, There's like a fear here of facing his own demons. And it could be just at his status, any scandal, any bad thing that comes out about him, it could be irrevocably damaging. So it's saying he may be scared to show emotion. He may be scared kind of to show any problems outwardly, or to discuss, his feelings about things honestly. So someone in his life that is water, someone in his life that helps focus and channel those emotions to be in a more healthy manner, because blocking them in, holding them in, that only lasts so long, right? Like, it's going to break the door down eventually. It's either going to mentally mess you up, or you're going to take it out on other people around you. So the people that hermit in and hold those emotions in and get away from people, then you're damaging yourself, because your mind is going to twist it and turn it, and you're just going to constantly, be in your head too much, right? You're going to overthink everything because you're sitting with your emotions in your head, where they shouldn't be. And otherwise, if you let them out and they're not channeled and harnessed in a healthy way, they're just going to wipe out everyone around you. So it is someone that kind of gives him like this focus. It seems like he's really missing that emotional grounding, right? That like people around him that are just practicing spirituality and emotional control in like healthy ways. And it could be that he maybe needs more time just to, I don't know, have people around him that aren't having such high expectations, is what I'm feeling. Is someone who is, obviously just, I want to say, it doesn't have an expectation that he's perfect, right? Someone that knows he's imperfect and is there to kind of help with all the things he needs help with, honestly. Like someone that's just there as a supportive, gentle, guiding hand, really. So then we have guide in the shadow aspect. So places financial gain and control over imparting spiritual insight. And then we have the Morgan with death and magic. So this sounds a lot like kind of the death card in the tarot is a transitional aspect. And it kind of really leads us back to this priest again, where it's like you get caught up in making all this money and doing what people kind of expect as a perfect life, instead of doing what actually like fulfills you emotionally and spiritually. And that's exactly what this card is talking about, is that someone or his life has led him in a direction where money is the most important thing, right? At least in the expectation of other people toward him, they expect him to live this rich kind of bougie life, right? To look like a superstar, to act like a superstar, to be above the regular man. And it's really put him at this separation of being able to relate to regular people. So this is saying like he kind of needs to kill off some aspects of himself. Like he's not going to reconnect until he kind of transitions out of that mindset. So someone, again, we kept talking about grounding, about dealing with your emotions, about not wanting or not allowing everyone's expectations to guide who you are. Like I think he's going to need someone that helps facilitate this transition in him, that like really opens his eyes. And it could be something he wants, but he's scared to pursue, or hasn't had the right motivation to really pursue, or just the right timing in many ways. Because I think that we're going to get to this Ishtar, which is about timing. So it's saying that until he has that transition, he's not going to have a deep connection with people. It's going to be very, very hard for him. So he's definitely going to need someone that kind of goes through, he's going to have this fall before he rises again, like this emotional or personal, not necessarily professional fall, but he's gonna have to change his outlook as a person. And this could be in a long-term, just a long-term growth period for him. Or it could be something that happens really quickly, but he is going to transition. I think maybe it's always been this little bit of like that celebrity life. Although everyone likes it, like they like him to wear it, he doesn't feel like it suits him, right? It wears him, he's not wearing it. That kind of feeling, like he just feels like he would like to be more low key than he is. Like that's the vibe. So I definitely see if he does have a partner, I don't see them being a celebrity at all. I think I see, not saying he won't date celebrities, but I'm saying that his actual like true spiritual connection person is going to be someone who actually takes him down a peg and humbles him quite a lot. So then we have Nemesine. I always have to stop and think of that one. Nemesine in the past. And then we have the magical child in shadow. So this is about letting go of your past, letting go of who you used to be. Magical child in the shadow is pessimism, depression, disbeliefs in miracles, believing that energy and action are not required for growth. This is a person who things have always come easy to them. They didn't have to do very much. Now, I know that statement's going to upset some people because they're going to be like, he's worked really hard for everything he has. Yes, he's worked hard, but he's one of those people that has seemingly always been right place, right time, right? You can be the most talented person, and if you're not in the right place where the right people see you at the right time, it doesn't matter. It does not matter how hard you work. Not in the entertainment business. If you get the right face and the right money behind you, a lot can happen. Now, what he did with it once he got it, he's worked very hard, but those doors wouldn't have opened unless he was kind of easily accessible to those people. You know, the right family, the right amount of money, the right friends, you know what I'm saying? Like everything aligned for him. So he didn't have to move to some country where he didn't speak the language and people treated him like crap to become an idol, right? Like he hasn't faced those kind of challenges. He hasn't faced coming probably from a poor family that I know of. If I'm wrong, please correct me. I would love to know his true family history, but I don't know that. But this card is kind of giving that impression that he probably came from a middle class to upper class family, and he's not had a lot of hard struggles in his life, other than just working hard to maintain his level of technique or you know, ability, right? So it's saying he hasn't had to push that hard to get his life to be where it is. And this is saying that time is now in the past. If the person you actually want to be, you will have to work for that, because this is not making you happy. This is not fulfilling you, right? The partner is going to be like, that's not who you want to be. That's what was easy for you. That was the path that was the most well lit that you could walk down and the safest. Who you really want to be is going to take work, right? To go against people's expectations of you is actually going to be harder at this point, because he's been built up so high. So yeah, this is that person that's going to give him like that epiphany, that aha moment, because they're just going to be very frank. Like we're talking about that old you has to go. This person's going to be very, very frank and unapologetic about it. So then we have Ishtar, communion. And then this is about perfect timing, divine timing. Like we're going to talk about the Fool in shadow. Now, when I saw the Fool laying in reverse and the timing card above it, I initially also thought of the Fool from Tarot, which is about starting your new life, your new path, you know, and taking that risk, taking the jump, you know, taking that step, what looks like off a cliff, and hoping that you don't fall to your death, right? Like, I might put in the tarot card so you know what I mean when I say that, if you're not familiar. But the shadow attribute on this card is using humor to wound rather than to liberate. Denial of your emotional truth. Now, denial of your emotional truth really fits in with what we've been saying. But he could have kind of a dark sense of humor too. He could be that kind of person, if you start talking about a subject he's not comfortable with, he'll make a very cutting joke and, you know, get the point across that, like, ha ha ha, it's funny, but don't ask me about that again. You know, like, I feel like he might have that to him, but definitely, excuse me, denial of your emotional truth rings so true in this reading. And Ishtar is talking about divine timing, right? Like, he wants to change, he wants to facilitate. Now, either we're talking about the divine timing that this person that's going to help him facilitate this change will come at the right time. You know, maybe he's not ready yet. He has to work through some stuff, or just where he is in his career. It's not, what's the word I want? It's just not able to happen at the point he is in his career, kind of thing. So it could be like the time has to be right for this change to facilitate. It could be when he finally gets to have a break, finally has his military service, something like that. When he gets to really sit and think about things, the universe will be like, it's time to go now. You know, take this as a sign that change is coming, and this person may be the sign that change is here. And the slave to ambition, you don't have to be a psychic to see this. Like, this is clear as day, right? Nike is the goddess of victory, of ambition. You know, Jungkook has won at life, like literally won at life as far as capitalism is concerned. He's a superstar. He's the face of his group. You know what I mean? Like, he makes so much money. It's incredible, right? But with that is a machine. A machine is behind him. All these people that work behind him, all these jobs that are reliant on him to keep working, to not stop. If he stops, all these people lose their jobs. That pressure is ridiculous. So we have slave in the light, though, is surrendering to your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. Now, I do think that we're talking about this complete trust was in ambition. But it is something good where it's saying he needs to take that same ambition he had for the machine, for the group, for the company, and put that to himself. Put that into his spirituality. Put that into his emotions. Put that into his partners, to his friends, to his loved ones, to again, himself. The master he needs to serve is him, right? Not money, not his group, not his company, not his country. You know, the first and foremost, he needs to put himself first. So we're seeing that this person is going to invoke all this change that he really, really needs. And there may be people before and after this person, but this person is going to be like the change in his life. And I think it's because he's going to meet someone that's not impressed with who he is. You know, he's going to have someone that just gives him that strong reality check. Oops, I'm shaking my whole table. Sorry. That strong reality check that, like, yeah, you've won. You've made this crazy amount of money, but that's not what interests me. Someone who's in touch with themselves, who understands themselves, is what they're going to want. And he's going to see where he's lacking. He's going to say, well, okay, I guess I need to work on that. I think he's going to have a huge spiritual shift when this person comes into his life. And it'll either be this person facilitates it, or it's the right time. It's the divine timing that he's ready and he just needed someone to support that. So that's what I see for the ideal partner. Again, ideal, right? This is the envisioning the perfect person. The perfect person probably doesn't truly exist, but I do think he's got this spiritual reckoning and awakening coming for him. So yeah, that's the ideal partner. Oh my gosh. That's the ideal partner. So I'm going to do a little bit of a current energies reading. I like to always finish them off with that, with my tarot. Actually, that's good because I can show you the tarot that I was talking about with the Fool. Are you at the bottom? Yep, he was at the bottom. Okay. So this is the Fool, where he's going to take that step kind of off that cliff here. Now he's trusting, he's looking up, he's trusting the divine. He's trusting his intuition. He's trusting his timing, but he's taking the risk. And that's what I saw initially when I looked at that Fool card. So that's what I wanted to show you guys. I'm gonna use my Tarot of the Twirling Hands real quick and just do a few cards. We'll see what comes up. Just for his current energies. Oh my gosh. Got two that slipped over here. Seeing like he's having some issues with balance because life is coming at him fast. Oh my gosh, okay. All right. Solo work, choice, opportunities, creativity, creation, King of Wands, creation. Page of Cups is following your heart. Yeah, I'm seeing he's working on something. He's definitely working on something. He's got 2-2, so there's a lot of imbalance though. He's like got too many things going on. Too many, what is it? Not stokes in the fire, but you know what I mean. He's got too many things on the fire at one time. But his creative energy is like high right now. But it's like he's got to get things done now. It's like very important that these things are done now. Knight of Wands, Knight of Swords. Okay, so there is some fear though. Knight of Swords is about being extremely mentally weighed down. Like, I'm worried about burnout with him. I'm going to pull one more card. I'm worried about burnout. Five of Pentacles. Why? Why everything was so good and the last two cards are a little... Because, yeah, he's got speed. He's got ambition. He's got multiple opportunities for creativity. He's got, like, not only opportunities for creativity, but he's actually in charge of it. Like, he's got creative control, right? Creative director energy. All of this. Multiple projects. Having a hard time balancing it all. The Knight of Wands means you're kind of pushing forward, but there's not a plan. So something's definitely got him a little bit off his game. And then stress, anxiety, burnout. The Five of Wands, though, or sorry, not the Five of Wands. The Five of Pentacles here also talks about like feeling a little cast out. It could be he's got so much to do. It's making him feel like he's stuck, you know? I don't know, unless he's going to get some bad news. There could be bad news on the way for him too, like a personal thing. That emotionally, he's going to just have to be like, I need a break. Because I don't think he's enlisting soon. I think it's other members that are enlisting this year. But he's definitely... I don't know if he's overcompensating because of that, because they're leaving. He's like, I gotta have all this stuff ready, so the minute they're gone, I can like pick up the slack, you know? And he's good. He's like running as hard as he can, but there's definitely some burnout and maybe some personal bad news that he's trying to deal with at the same time. That's just his current energies. I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but I do think he's working on stuff. I think he's working on a lot of stuff because I keep getting this and this, this and this, this and this. Like the twos are like trying to juggle and balance multiple things. And he's got choices. So he's making personal choices about what he does, what he doesn't do. But it feels like he's really trying to do everything. The Magician is like balancing and wanting to constantly do all these things. Or to do, I'm sorry, not to do all these things, but to do everything. Like he doesn't want to let anyone down. And I think we kind of saw that too. He feels that pressure to appease everyone. At least in his company, you know, people that are depending on him. It's kind of like that. Like he wants to make sure everyone's taken care of. He wants to constantly take advantage of like these opportunities that are coming to him, but he doesn't necessarily have the best plan, and it's going to lead to some burnout for him. So he needs to be careful. But I think we're going to see Jungkook just constantly putting out things for a while. at least until he is forced to take a break. Then again, it's BTS. I feel like that's kind of how they go. They just run really, really hard doing a million things, and then they're like, okay, we're taking a break. We're taking like 2-3 months off. Don't call me. You know, they just, until mentally they can't stand it anymore. So that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. But that's what I got for Jungkook. I think there are many things creatively that he is personally in charge of on the horizon for him. And he's just feeling that stress. So I hope you enjoyed my Jungkook Ideal Partner reading. If you want to order one of these for your favorite idol, I have a Ko-fi page where you can request with a very small donation, of course, just to cover my time. And I have those links in the description for every video. I also have a Patreon where we can discuss doing more kind of spicier topics that I don't want to do for YouTube. I have my Sungmi reading up there. I've got a pink about to go up, the Jimin and Mina situation. And then I'm doing a Chris Wu reading for next month. So prepare for that. And if you're a part of the Patreon, you get to put in suggestions for what other spicy topics you want. And we'll make the list. So right now we're still building that community. I'd love to have you guys along for the ride. So look for updates on that on the channel, you know, very, very soon. And I have an Etsy shop. If you want to order personal readings for yourself, you can order, you know, month ahead. The month ahead also does up to a year ahead in that one. And then I have single questions where you can just kind of pick a allotted amount of time and kind of fill that up with as many questions as you want. But I'm also open for any kind of other readings you'd like to see on the Etsy page. I'm kind of taking requests there, and I can always add more listings as we need them. I also make accoutrements. I make pendulums, and I sell little crystal bags and all kinds of stuff. So check it out. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I hope you liked the reading, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye.